Apple is about to shake up the foldable phone world because new iPhone Ultrafold leaks suggest this won't be just another foldable. If the rumors are accurate, Apple's first foldable iPhone could bring a 7.8-inch inner display, AI 5.5-inch cover screen, a next-generation 2nm A20 Pro chip, and a premium price that could hit around $2,000, making it potentially the most expensive iPhone ever. Now, before we go any further, quick disclaimer. This is all based on leaks and reports, so take everything as rumored until Apple officially confirms it. But even as rumors, these details are big enough to tell us what Apple's strategy might be and why Samsung, Google, and every foldable brand should be paying attention. The headline feature is the screen setup. The iPhone Ultrafold is rumored to have a 7.8-inch inner display, which instantly pushes it into mini tablet territory. That's the kind of size that makes multitasking feel natural. 2 apps side by side, full-size web browsing, bigger editing timelines, more comfortable reading, and a much better experience for movies and YouTube. And on the outside, the 5.5-inch cover display could be Apple's solution to one of the biggest foldable complaints, the closed screen experience. Instead of feeling like a narrow, awkward backup display, this could be sized for quick, normal phone tasks, replying to why, messages, checking maps, controlling music, scanning notifications without needing to unfold every time. But the biggest performance rumor is the chip, the A20 Pro, reportedly built on a 2nm process. That matters for 2 reasons: speed and efficiency. Foldables are power-hungry by nature because bigger displays consume more energy, especially at high brightness and high refresh rates. And once you start doing real multitasking, the workload ramps up quickly. A more efficient 2nm A20 Pro could mean Apple's foldable won't just be fast, it could stay fast without overheating and without destroying battery life. That's how you get the pocket-sized MacBook idea people keep repeating. Not that it literally runs macOS, but that it can handle heavy laptop-like tasks on a bigger screen while still feeling smooth and responsive. And here's where the leaks get really interesting. Apple may have redesigned the internal layout in a way that could fix multiple foldable problems at the same time. Reports suggest Apple is moving the motherboard to one side and using straight cable routing. That might sound like a small engineering detail, but it can have a huge real-world impact. A cleaner internal structure can make repairs easier, which is a major issue in the foldable market. Foldables are expensive to fix, complicated to service, and often feel like a gamble long-term. If Apple genuinely makes this device more repairable, it's not just a nice bonus, it could become a major selling point. That internal redesign could also free up space for a larger battery. Battery life is one of the most common complaints. With foldables, because you're basically powering a tablet screen but trying to keep the device thin enough to fold into a pocket. If Apple is prioritizing battery capacity and efficiency together, bigger battery plus a 2nm chip, that's how you deliver a foldable that people can actually rely on all day. Now let's talk about the design choices that could split opinions. One leak suggests the volume buttons may move to the top edge. That's not typical for iPhones, and some users might hate it at first. But from an engineering perspective, changing button placement can strengthen the frame, simplify internal component placement, and improve durability, especially in a foldable where space and structure are constantly under stress. Another major rumor is the power button being on the side with Touch ID built in. Yes, Touch ID might be coming back, and honestly, on a foldable, that makes a lot of sense. Face ID works great, but foldables introduce new usage angles. Half open, laptop mode positions, different orientations, different ways you hold it when it's open versus closed. A side-mounted Touch ID sensor is fast, consistent, and works whether you're using the cover screen or the inner screen. If Apple wants the iPhone Ultrafold to feel effortless, Touch ID could actually be the most practical choice. There's also talk of a dedicated camera control button. If Apple includes it, it's likely meant to make photography and video faster, launching the camera instantly, acting as a shutter button, or giving creators quick access to controls. On a device this big with a tablet-style unfolded mode, a camera control button could be a genuinely useful upgrade for content creation. Another rumored decision: eSIM only. Apple has already pushed eSIM in several regions, but going eSIM only on a foldable iPhone would be Apple doubling down hard. The upside is simpler hardware, fewer internal components, and potentially more room for other parts like battery. The downside is obvious. eSIM still isn't universally convenient everywhere in the world, and physical SIM cards are still important for travel and certain carriers. If this foldable is aimed at pros and power users, eSIM only could be a deal breaker for some and a non-issue for others. Now let's get to the price, because this is the part that will dominate the conversation, around $2,000. If Apple really prices the iPhone Ultrafold at about $2,000, it's not trying to compete with standard flagship phones. It's targeting the top of the market. People who already buy the most expensive iPhone Pro Max models, people who buy iPads and MacBooks, creators, business users, and early adopters who want the most advanced hardware Apple makes. And the only way Apple can justify that price is if the experience feels finished. At $2,000, consumers won't accept obvious compromises. They'll expect strong battery life, premium durability, a hinge that feels solid for years, a display experience that feels optimized, and software that truly takes advantage of the foldable form factor. Because Apple is entering foldables, later than others, expectations will be higher. People will assume Apple waited to get it right. One of the biggest strategic clues in these leaks is that Apple may be taking a tablet-first approach. Many foldables are basically phones that become tablets sometimes. Apple's rumored iPhone Ultrafold sounds like a tablet you can fold into your pocket. That fits Apple's ecosystem perfectly, because Apple already knows how people use iPads for productivity, entertainment, and multitasking. If Apple brings that mindset,